Oh, hey everyone. I'm not dead, I promise. I know it's been 3 weeks, and I've been drowning myself in vector calculus and proofs for school and taking exams and stuff, but I'm here now. We're chilling. Anyways, UFC 308 happened this past weekend, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't able to watch it at the moment, but I'm all caught up now, and I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to give the ELO charts, and yeah, I'm basically the MMA math guy, so you know the gist. Let's get right into it. Let's start right at the top. Ilia Topuria has KO'd Max Holloway. It's insane stuff, really. The first person ever to knock out Max freaking Holloway. Like what? It's just unheard of. Ilia just had a beautiful game plan all along. He was backing up Max, putting the pressure onto him, I feel like the whole fight. It was even arguable, actually, that Max was winning the fight. Max was landing really clean jabs, hooks, whatever. And then he just got stopped by Ilia. I mean, to me, it's just crazy. Max is not that old. He's 32, I'm pretty sure. Truth be told, I did think this fight would go to a decision, and oh boy, you guys are not going to believe me, but I'll show my receipts. I did technically predict this result in UFC 5, but I still predicted it, and actually looks like I predicted a fair amount of the main event fights too. I was talking with Full Guard Frenzy about this too, actually, and we both did agree that Ilia would beat Max. I just, in my own personal things, and I think I talked about it with a few friends, I just was not sure how he would beat Max, but I mean, oh my God, that knockout was just something insane. I mean, it really is just insanity. Ilia is at the top of the MMA world right now. And, picking a performance and knockout and all these things of the year, a knockout of the year, it's genuinely going to be so tough because oh my God, we have a new contender with this freaking Ilia knockout. I mean, I guess if we want to talk about after the fight and Volk going into the cage and everything, I'm not going to lie. I love Volk. I do glaze him. I buy Engage fight shorts and their stuff. But with how it is right now, Ilia would destroy Volk again. I genuinely just don't see a world where Volk beats Ilia Topuria right now. Ilia is faster, stronger, and Volk, I mean, he just keeps getting, he's getting older and older, really. He's still a great fighter, but the MMA age is catching up with him. The Volk we thought could beat Islam and all these guys is, I think, just gone. And it does suck, but that's just kind of the reality. And the new king is here, and his name is Ilia Topuria. Oh, that sounded a little cringe, but all right. I usually am a critic of immediately going up to the next weight class, actually, and fighting up for the belt and barely defending your belt. But with how the hype train is right now for Ilia, oh my God, I would love to see Ilia and Islam fight. That fight is such a guilty pleasure, I swear. Genuinely, I get shades of Khabib and Conor with that so freaking much. Maybe each fighter should defend their belts once or twice more, just, to up the stakes, I guess. Ilia could square off against Diego Lopez if the OC wants to ride that hype train, or Masvidal, or even Volk again. I suppose Volk should technically get the title shot again. And then we could have Islam and Arman, and then if they both win their fights, we could do a mega fight for featherweight and lightweight. Conor could be 2, but it's Islam and Ilia or whatever. But yeah, man, oh man, I do want to see that fight. If we want to take a look at the chart, because remember, I am the stats guy after all. This is my whole thing. If we're going to look at the finish adjusted model and the chart for it, Ilia has an ELO of 1,192.91. And then, well, here's the chart. He went up 30 ELO, which, is fairly a lot because the K value is 40. I honestly see this chart only progressing upwards. I think Ilia could very well be on his way to be in actually a GOAT conversation one day, especially if he keeps this trend that he's on right now, beating 2 greats in Volk and Holloway like this. And then especially if he goes out and beat Islam one day, who I think people are starting to talk about maybe could be in the GOAT conversation, oh my God, that'd just be insane. People compare Ilia a lot also to Conor McGregor, and I just want to see the chart, and I guess it is kind of similar towards the beginning of their career, because it's just that immediate trend upward with it. I guess with a lot of top-rated fighters it is, but I guess I just want to show that because a lot of people do compare Ilia to Conor. And yeah, here is the chart for Max Holloway. I honestly find it so crazy that Max actually is still pretty young in the UFC. I think I said that. That was one of the first things I said. And yeah, I don't know. I guess the last thing to touch on with featherweight in Ilia Topuria and the whole Max Holloway fiasco and him getting KO'd is just this division is so fun right now. Max probably will go back to gatekeeping this division. He could even go up to lightweight, and I think I'd be happy. I don't really know what he's going to do. A rematch with Ilia one day might go crazy. You never know. But there is Diego Lopez. There's that hype train right now. There's Mazvar, whatever. Yair is still around. He'll probably hang around for a bit. I'm just genuinely excited to see what's next. And, that, oh my God, it's just that knockout is like just so crazy. Like the first person to knock out Max Holloway, like the hype for Ilia Topuria is real. And, that can't be understated. All right, so moving on to our next fight and moving on to another really exciting finish. A scary finish, to be honest, when you dive a bit deeper into it. Khamzat gets it done again. And I really do wish a well recovery for Robert. That's got to be genuinely so painful. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to show the photos, like, because it's kind of gross. I'm not going to lie. But, like, looking at the photos, like, holy crap. Like I feel so bad for Whittaker. Like, oh, my goodness. And honestly, like, I just don't think people should doubt Khamzat again. I was even, like, I think everyone was, like, iffy about Khamzat going into this fight because, he wasn't, like, that, like, dominant against, like, Usman and all those things or whatever, and they just, like, were doubting him, and that's, like, totally fair. If he finds a way to basically fight in the U.S. again, because, like, we all know, like, I don't know if he can really fight in the U.S. or whatever, but that's not the point of this video. If the UFC can get him more fights, honestly, Dricus should be concerned. And, with this performance, honestly, I think the UFC could make that fight happen. And, hot take, I think Khamzat, I think he would beat Dricus. Definitely Khamzat would beat Strickland if they want to make that fight. If Strickland beats DDP, I think Khamzat beats Strickland. But, I think Khamzat should maybe fight one of those guys like Strickland or even fight Dricus. I'd be really happy with that. I think Khamzat and Dricus would sell more. But, that's just me. I think he beats both those guys, though. And, similar to Ilia Topuria, if Khamzat keeps this up, I think Khamzat's closer to Ilia in the GOAT rankings anyways. And I think he very well could, be in those GOAT rankings if he is just a scary, scary man. And, I think everyone was reminded of that this weekend. With how everything's shaping up, I really just am excited for 2025 UFC. There's just so many things, like exciting things lined up. But anyways, Khamzat, if we take a look at the ELO, he's at 1,190.65. He's still behind Ilia, so that's pretty interesting. I think, it's because Ilya's like the level of opponents he fought has been better. He's finished like higher level people, I would say. Like Max Holloway and Volk are relatively high in the chart. So, I guess checks out. The charts are basically the same. Like they're pretty much just straight lines. So, there's not really too much to say as far as like analyzing it. I feel like, I kind of just get like the ELO number or whatever and be like, oh yeah, he's on an upward trend and it probably will keep upward because it's freaking Khamzat Chimaev. But yeah, Khamzat's just so scary. And I don't know. I kind of would like to see a Dricus fight. I'm not going to lie. Like, I think that'd be a lot of fun. Anyways, moving on to our third fight, and I think this will be the last fight I cover just, for sake of video time. And, I'm still like working on other projects and everything. So I just wanted to get like this quick video out on my reactions to everything. And yeah, we have Ankalaev, and, I think this fight's been controversial. Controversial. I can't talk. I've seen people say they weren't really satisfied with, Ankalaev's performance, with the grappling and stuff. And I guess that's fair. I still thought it was a fine fight. Like, I thought this fight was all right. He didn't get the finish, yeah, but like, overall it was like, it's still a fine fight. Like, Ankalaev's still like a pretty good fighter, I would say. Like, I'm not saying he has his like boring moments or whatever, but like, I just don't think this was like that boring. Like, I still enjoyed it. And I think people in general, like, I know that because they dislike him, I think in general they just forget how dominant he can be. He just isn't really that flashy, and so I think that's why people don't really like him. And to be honest, with this win, as much as Pereira is a great champion, and he'd be a far better champion than Magomed. Like, don't get me wrong, like Alex is a fantastic champion. He would be so like he would be a much better champion than Ankalaev. But I've been saying it for years. I do think Magomed will be a light heavyweight champion, probably after Alex. Alex would absolutely just obliterate Magomed's legs. And just, I think Alex does win that fight, especially with the hype trainee in like the hot train or whatever he's on right now. I think one day Magomed definitely, maybe Alex fights a few more times or like for like 2 more years retires. And then I think Ankalaev would be like a champion for a bit. I think that's probably the case. I still think he will be a champion one day. I don't have any hate towards this fight. So, I don't really understand the hate too much, but here's the chart, for Ankalaev. And yeah, I guess that's kind of the overall recap with things. Yeah, I was late to all these fights. The Shara Bullet knockout was pretty tough too. I'm excited to see what's next for him, but I don't really have too much else to say. I have been working little by little to improve the model, but I'm just not ready to make a part 3 yet because it's like the changes have been so minimal, but it is getting done. I've been working on... Me and Full Guard Frenzy might have something in the works, so I don't know, a little spoiler there, I guess. I have been working on F1 stuff. I have like a basic F1 model, but that's not ready either. Like everything's just taking a bit of time, and with school and everything, like it's all getting done, guys. Don't worry, it'll just be a little bit. But anyways, I hope you guys take care. I'll probably have hopefully my predictions for the fight nights coming up this weekend, or F1 predictions, whatever. Just I'll have something up. Like I want to upload. My heart's still in YouTube and all that. So, I hope you guys are all doing all good. Everyone have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next upload.